Right, we're going to have a go at doing one of my favourites, which is just drawing an eye. So, here we go, we're going to do this in quite a bit of detail today. Here's my basic shape. Nice arch along the top. You've got this little bit here, don't make it too big, it's just this little section. Then we're going to bring in the lower lid. The lower lid's got a flatter curvature than the upper lid. And try and get that right. There we go. And I want the upper lid to overhang only just a bit. And then mark off the depth of my lower lid. I'm just going to here. And I'm just going to bring that round. And there's the basic eye shape. Okay, right. Where we'll go next? We'll do the iris. If you imagine that this is, in fact I'll draw it in. Imagine you've got the actual eyeball itself. I'm doing this really faintly so I can rub it out later. If you wanted, you could even draw around something to get you a perfect circle. I'm not going to worry too much about that. This is good enough for my purposes. So that gives you an idea of where the eye would be. And now I'm going to put the iris in. That's the coloured part. And you've got to get that nice and round. There we go. So the top bit would be just covered, like I've said. Keep the top bit just covered by that eyelid. I'm going to change the angle a little bit. I think that looks a little bit better. Bring that down a little bit more on this side as well. Yeah, I like that. And this is why we always do really soft lines to begin with. Anything we don't want, we can easily get rid of. And then I'm going to put my pupil in, and again, I want a nice circle on that. Try and keep it central so the distance all the way around is equal. Normally when I do eyes and I'm doing a face, I'll just put in a single flare of light. On this one I'm going to add a few extra bits. Let's change that a little bit. And these are the bits that we keep absolutely pure white. Keep those as clean and tidy as we can. And everything else, there will be some degree of shading with my pencil. There, so far so good. And for the pupil, I'm not going to go heavy black just yet. Later on I'm going to really make this as dark as I can, but for now I'm just going to block it in. Next step, radiating out, I'm going to put in some lines that come out like so. I'm doing this rather quickly. You can spend as much time as you want on it. And you want almost a hair-like effect. And what we can also do is have slight curve as well. It's not totally flat. What you don't want to do is just shade it across. It makes it look flat and dull and just not very interesting at all. There we go, that's a bit of that. Now I'm going to start shading the eyeball itself, because if you've got don't draw this as a solid line, this is just a soft line to show where my shading will be. If you've got the nose here and the brow here, this is all going to be in shade. There's the upper lid. So I want this to be well shaded. Now this bit here, I'm going to leave a little flash of light, and then the rest of it will just be darkened up with the pencil. As I say, I'm doing this really quickly because it takes too long to upload of us to spend too long on this. And when I'm shading, I'm almost using the pencil like a brush. Again, I'm using my favourite 4B pencil for this. HP would be just as good, except it doesn't show quite as well on this camera, so that's why I'm going with the 4B. 4B is a lot softer and a lot darker. A little bit of light catching on here. Get some wrinkles in. And get some hairs in. Now when we do our eyebrow, we start near vertical and quite dense, and then we move out across with the hairs growing out towards where the ear would be. And they're getting sparser and sparser as we go across. And when we do them, it's a flick, so you get the thicker base and thinner at the top. Doing this really quickly. I'll do a nice one later to demonstrate properly. I need to see a definite variation in shade, so I'm going to make this a little darker again. Starting to look a little bit like an eye. As you can see, I'm trying to get everything to have a little bit of pencil on it. The only really white bits are to be the bits that I want to be pure white. If you want, you can even add a few little veins in the eyes for extra detailing. Don't overdo that, it can spoil it. But it can add a little bit of character if that's what we're looking for. And then I'm just going to throw in a few eyelashes. Again, I have mine flicking out. They could be coming down, but that can look messy. The best thing you can do is actually get a nice black and white photograph and copy what an actual eye would look like. Putting a slight curling as I'm coming out, just because it looks more natural, looks more authentic to me. And then a few along the bottom. Try not to be too uniform. So I think that section there looks good, whereas that section there I don't really like. But as I say, I'm going quickly just to get all this done in one video. Now I'm just going to darken this up. So I've got my basic lines in. So this is not to get the texture in. This is just to shade it up a tone. And in doing so, I've lost some of the lines I wanted, so I'll have to go back over them again. A little bit darker under the lid still. twinkly bits. And yeah, I'm going to call that done.